We have gathered here to commemorate Sattar Beheshti, a young blogger who was killed by the Iranian cyber police for 1 year ago. Sattar was a worker and he used to write blogs. He was not a very famous blogger. His blog didn't have so many viewers. But he did not do self-censorship. On October 22nd, he wrote a small post where he criticized the Iranian authorities. He referred to the executions and wrote, "The sentences and the executions carried out are not out of a desire for justice, but they are aimed at terrorizing the people so that no one will complain." After writing this, he received many threats by the Iranian authorities, and the day before his arrest, on October 29th, he wrote on his blog that they have threatened me, that your mother will soon wear black because you don't shut your big mouth. Just writing this phrase in his blog shows that he was not scared. Even after being threatened, he continued blogging. He didn't censor himself. The day after, October 30th, he was arrested by the Iranian cyber police. And on October 31, exactly for 1 year ago, he wrote a letter from prison saying that he had been beaten and tortured with multiple blows on his head. And if something happened to me, the cyber police is responsible. A few days later, his family were contacted by the police and they were asked to come to prison and collect his dead body. Since then, Sattar's mother has been asking for justice. She has been to the court, she has been threatened to shut up, but she hasn't given up. According to her own words, she says that my only request is that a public and fair trial be held for Sattar's murderer. I lost my son, but I don't want any other Sattar to lose his life and for another family to become mournful. Unfortunately, the Iranian authorities have not given her a fair trial. They have forced her to pardon the murderer of his son, even though she's not asking for the inhumane punishments that the Iranian regime is known for. She's asking for an open and fair trial. Sattar is one of the examples that we know about. There are many reports on what is going on in the Iranian detention centers. Many prisoners are killed under interrogation, and their families are informed that their loved one committed suicide. We have received lots of reports like that. The judiciary is completely political. They, as Sattar says in his blog, they use execution to spread fear in the society, not to fight the crime. I would like also to say some words about what has been happening in Iran in the last months. Everybody remembers in June when the new Iranian president was first selected and then elected, there was some hope in Iran and outside. Many people believe, or at least had hope, that things will change. He promised improvement of human rights. But what has happened since then? We have seen a president who smiles more than the previous one, who uses another words or rhetoric when he speaks to the international journalists. We have seen a foreign minister who speaks fluently English to CNN, but improvement of the human rights situation, that's what's missing. Since Mr. Rouhani was elected, about 280 people have been executed in Iran. 166 of the executions have been announced by the authorities. Only this week, since Saturday, 39 people at least have been executed. And as Sattar said, they are doing it to spread fear in the society, because their rule is not based on people's support. Their rule is based on fear. Unfortunately, the international community is not paying attention to the human rights situation in Iran. All the focus has been on the nuclear issue and on the new president's rhetoric. 2 to 3 people have been executed every single day since the new president took office. Not a single time the Iranian ambassador here in Oslo was summoned to the foreign ministry or any other foreign ministries in Europe. Not a single time EU, Mrs. Catherine Ashton asked Iranian authorities to stop executions. We have had minors who have been executed in this period. So we ask once again, for the sake of Sattar and all others inside Iran, that the international community should not forget the Iranian people. They should remember that a stable and peaceful Iran will come only when the country is democratic, when the country respects its own people's rights. So if we want sustainable peace, we have to fight for the Iranian people's rights and for a democratic Iran. We, as activists for human rights, should make our governments here in Europe to put the human rights situation on top of their agenda. Any dialogue between Iran and the international community should be based on the Iranian people's rights, and the issue of death penalty should be on top of their agenda. Thank you very much.